as we celebrate the closing of National Women's History Month, and we think about today's theme, weaving the stories of women's lives, I ask you to give greater thought about the meal you just ate. Growing up the youngest of 10 kids, my family was from the working poor. My mother was a waitress, and my father a hotel maintenance worker. And if it weren't for programs like food stamps, or the National Free School Lunch Program, there would have been many days I would have gone hungry. And if it weren't for food banks in my local community, I'm not sure how holiday dinners would have happened. When I was a kid, I never really thought about where my food came from. I was more concerned that when I opened the refrigerator, that there was in fact food inside. When my family would sit down for our family dinners, we never really thought about the quality or the healthiness of the food that we ate. We were just grateful that there was food on the table. And then, 2 months after 9/11, when I went to serve in the United States Army, they told me I was overweight. I was shocked. I was a very competitive high school athlete, and I wasn't healthy. Last year, the Journal of the American Medical Association released a report showing that in the larger sections of youths, ranging from ages to 2 to 19, and the overall population of adults, there's been no dramatic change in obesity rates. That statistic worries me as a mother. But as a veteran, the 2012 Mission Readiness Report determined that 1 in 4 young adults are unable to serve in today's military due to obesity. While I quickly lost the weight in order to join, I struggled throughout my military career with my weight. It didn't matter that I could run 2 miles in 14 minutes and 50 seconds, or knock out 43 push-ups in 2 minutes. I was overweight. Our military is fat, and I'm pretty sure I've earned the right to say that, for better or for worse. According to the Department of Defense, 51.2% of service members are overweight based upon their body mass index, and 12.4% are obese. While that's still lower than the national average for civilians, as an elite fighting force tasked with some of the most difficult jobs, this statistic is surprising to many. So years later, after having 2 kids of my own, did it finally occur to me that it wasn't my level of fitness. It was my level of nutrition. It's why our military is fat. It's why our kids are obese. It's not their level of fitness, it's their level of nutrition. It is up to us to reverse this trend right now in our own communities, or place our national security at risk for decades to come. Are you still thinking about today's lunch? We don't often talk about national security in terms of what's happening here at home. We think about national security in terms of wars being fought overseas, peace negotiations, terrorism. And while these are all matters of national security, they can seem far away. And that everyday people don't have an impact. But feeding our kids better food is a matter of national security. And all of us in this room can make an impact. Obese kids lead to obese adults. We must begin to look at how we can effectively change the way we feed our kids, teach them about nutrition, and reverse the obesity rates in this nation. So I say, we have to go old school on school lunch. And I'm not talking about as moms having to pack lunches for our kids every day. We've got to change that stereotype. It's not about thinking in that direction. We need to focus our schools' purchasing power on community sourcing our food supply. Buying fresh, local foods right here from the farm just down the road. With this one change, we can set in motion an increase to local economies across America. In the Army, we were trained to lead the way when we believed that something would benefit the greater good. As women, I'm guessing none of you need an Army creed to know that mindset is what we do every day. Women, we are the very fabric of our communities. By interlacing our stories, experiences, values, and our work, we actually have the ability, right in front of us, to be the change makers that will build a better nation for us all. It's just not our nation that you can secure. It's the health and economic security that can be credited to us if we just make a concerted effort. By simply engaging your local schools to purchase fresh fruit, vegetables, whole grains, lean meats, low-fat dairy, all which are supported by a Department of Defense program called FRESH, we can positively alter the course of our nation's future. Think your school district is too big to tackle such an initiative? The Los Angeles Unified School District, which is the second largest school district in the nation, is already doing this. On average, schools spend about $1 per serving on lunches. And there are 55 million school students in America. The daily revenue that our farming communities could reap is a simple calculation. We can also provide a long-lasting educational value. Have local farmers come into our schools and talk to the kids about what vegetables are being served today. Get kids excited about their new favorite fruit or their new favorite vegetable. It all prepares our children for a lifetime of healthy eating choices. So while you may have expected me to stand before you today and talk about some important figures in military history, such as Deborah Sampson of the Revolutionary War, who was the first woman to fight and be wounded in battle for our nation, or Sergeant Leanne Hester. She was the first woman awarded the Silver Star for her combat role in 2005. I say that our greatest historical achievement is yet to be written. And as women, it doesn't always require putting on a uniform. Had it not been for my experience in the military, honestly, I'm not sure where I would have ended up. But I do know this. Right now, we must come together as parents, educators, farmers, community members, leaders. And while I know we have politicians in this room from opposing parties, I defy them when it comes to our children's nutrition and national security. I don't think there could be an issue with more common ground. I enjoyed serving my country. I enjoyed being with all of you here today. And I do trust that you enjoyed your lunch and thought about what it could mean for millions of kids. I also trust that once this luncheon is over, we won't just leave. We will weave, we will lead, and our nation will be forever grateful to the women that served her. Thank you.